Now my question, so my question is, in 2006, Christie's auction house had a huge auction of Star Trek memorabilia. It got $7.1 million from these outfits that you probably wore. I'm wondering that probably in the original series you probably didn't even think about it if it was done after 3 years. I'm curious if there was anything that you took or that you had as a memento of the series or a movie that you had shared with us.
Well, Gene Roddenberry, the creator of the show, gave me 2 wonderful gifts from the show. One was the uniform that I wore as Captain Sulu in Star Trek 6, and there it was sitting in my, hanging in my closet. And, you know, I see it occasionally, Brad would see it occasionally, but it's there in the darkened closet. And I thought, you know, I should share this. I should share this with the public. And we founded a museum called the Japanese American National Museum in Los Angeles. It's an affiliate of the Smithsonian. And I thought, well, we founded a museum, and I have something that might be of interest to the museum. So I asked the curator, would you like it? And she said, oh my goodness, yes. And so I donated it to the museum. And they put it on display in the gallery of the post-internment story to show that someone who was incarcerated in an American barbed wire prison camp could eventually become the captain of the starship Excelsior. I drop in on the museum periodically. I'm a trustee on the board. And docents, I'll ask you, you know, we're getting these visitors who greet them like this. And they're all young people. And I think they're very fast. How come we're getting an influx of these people? And I said, oh, it's because of the costume on display upstairs gallery. And so I gave it to the museum, and I've been able to share it with everybody. But I had another costume that Gene gave me, and that's the costume I wore in Star Trek 3 and 4. That leather cape, outfit with the gray kind of kimono, Asian-looking front. I still have that. And I'm a member of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences that gives out the Oscars every year. And we have a program now to build the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. And we took a old department store in Los Angeles that was abandoned and closed, and we beautifully adapted to reuse that. And added another addition to it, a theater inside a huge sphere behind that department store building. And they wanted a costume from Star Trek, the motion picture version. And so I donated that leather cape uniform there. And so when the museum opens, that'll be, and that's going to be opening late this year, 2019. You can see that there. So all you fans, come to Los Angeles to either the Japanese American National Museum or the new Academy Museum of Motion Pictures to see my costumes.
Hello, Mr. Takei.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate your time.
I appreciate being here. Thank you for spending the time here with me.
Of course. My question for you is your story, you were a man of overcoming so many obstacles and challenges and fights. difficult times in your life to be on the stage and be a success story. And you've gone through so many changes and what might define years of your life. What would you tell someone who is in the midst of such a fight today?
Well, we have a lot of challenges in life. I think it's important that those who have been given a gift return that gift by making the world we live in a little bit better. And because I have lived through a critical part of American history as a child, a 5-year-old child, I feel that responsibility to make that contribution. And the gift that you've given me of amplifying my voice so that I have access to the TV news cameras or the radio show microphone or the printed press. I take that responsibility very seriously and try to use it to contribute to building a better America, a truer American democracy by sharing that story and dramatizing it. And so I thank you all for the gift that you've given me, and I take that responsibility of that gift and try to make our future a better America and a truer democracy.
Thank you.
Hi, Molly.
I was wondering, what was it like for you as a working person to watch kind of the job that you had moved on from kind of come back? Was it weird to start getting Star Trek phone calls again?
Star Trek phone calls?
Yeah. Like after the show got canceled, there was a long period of time. Did it feel strange to you that this show came back into your life and were you part of it, or what was that like?
Oh no, we were delighted that Star Trek came back as a series of motion pictures. And then all these other different ways of telling the story. Leonard and Dean came back as a part of the next generation. And I was able to come back with the Voyager cast on TV and a series of motion pictures. And so we love the show and what it stands for. I think Gene Roddenberry created an amazing show. And one of the things that attracted me and the cast, as well as the audience, I think, is that view that Gene Roddenberry had of what the future of this world might be. It was set in the 23rd century, and spectacular achievements have been made. We have a huge vessel, a starship, with over 1,000 crew members. Gene Roddenberry said that Starship Enterprise was a metaphor for Starship Earth. And he said the strength of this starship lay in the diversity of that starship, Starship Earth, coming together and working in concert as a team. The diversity was its strength, and the unity was its power. And so you saw the makeup of the bridge of the Enterprise, a North American captain of the starship, played by a Canadian, Bill Shatner from Montreal, Canada. Europe was represented by a Scottish engineer, played by another Canadian, Jimmy Doohan. He was from Vancouver, British Columbia. Nice guy, great guy. I enjoyed spending time with him. He became my favorite drinking buddy. And he made a confessional to me during one of our sitting sessions. He said, "I'm getting famous as a Scotsman, but I'm really an Irishman." An Irishman born in Vancouver, British Columbia. But, he said, "I've drunk enough of the Libation of Scotland to qualify playing the Scots. He qualified. I'm a witness to it.
Hi, Uncle George.
Hi.
Thank you so much for everything you do for your activism. It's wonderful. Now, my question is, what is your proudest accomplishment, and what do you want your legacy to be?
That's a profound question. You know, I'm going to be around for a long, long time.
Yes.
My grandmother celebrated 104 birthdays.
You're going to be there, George.
Oh, I'm never going to beat it. I'm going to beat my grandmother. We have lived long and prospered. And so I really haven't thought in terms of a legacy, but you know, a legacy is what you do while you're alive. And I hope what I do while I'm alive will be appreciated by people after I die.
Well, what's your
That's a legacy.
What's your proudest accomplishment so far?
What's my what?
Proudest accomplishment so far?
Well, my personal passion is acting. I love acting. But my mission is to ensure that because of what I experienced as a child, make, as I have been saying, to make our country one that we can be proud of, where we can stand behind what is done in our name as Americans. What's happening right now is not what we want to stand behind and say, this is America. So I hope my legacy is proud of that.
All right, I'm giving you a 5-minute warning, so there's time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions.
5-minute warning. We'll talk fast.
Hi, George. My name's Takei.
Hi, Jackie.
I know that you have had a huge impact on many of your fans, but I was wondering if there was an interaction or a type of interaction with fans that has been impactful to you.
There have been so many fans who have been very dedicated to it. You know, there was one guy who had his name legally changed to no, not Susan. He had his name changed to I'm blanking. But people who have had their names changed to various characters' names. Your question was?
Has a fan ever impacted you with actions, words, and interaction?
You know, the distinguished senator from Vermont, Senator Patrick Leahy. Oh, Patrick Leahy has some fans here. He's a great senator, one that I'm an admirer of. In fact, I first met him at the Air and Space Museum when Gene Roddenberry donated the first scale model of the Enterprise that was built for the TV series. He donated that to the Smithsonian. And there it was installed at the Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. And the cast was flown out for the unveiling of the Enterprise. And a few senators were there to join in on the festivities. And one of them was Patrick Leahy. We were, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Was it last weekend, when Comic-Con in San Diego was going on. Comic-Con had finished, and we were being driven back, Brad and I were being driven back to Los Angeles. And the phone rang. We picked it up, and it was Senator Patrick Leahy phoning us in the middle, driving us back to Los Angeles. He said he just read an article on me in the Washington Post and about my graphic memoir, and he was calling to congratulate me. And I was just blown away to get a call from a U.S. Senator and a distinguished senior senator at that, while I'd be driven in the car back to Los Angeles. And I thank him profusely, but that was an amazing experience, and he's one of my heroes. So I suppose that qualifies as an answer to your question. Now, I think you are the last one.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. Last question. Thank you for your gift and all your stories to share with us. And I would say I was tickled to see you on Murder, She Wrote. So.
On what?
Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, yes. Angela Lansbury. She's another one of my heroes. I mean, she is amazing. She was in her late 80s, and here she was almost every year. I'm a theater buff, and we go to Broadway plays in New York, and she's got a new play almost every year going, and in one of them, Live Spirit, a revival of Noel Coward's play, she won a Tony for that. And now she's in her 90s, and if you saw Mary Poppins Returns, there she is at 92 years old in Mary Poppins Return, singing a song. I mean, she's an amazing woman. And
I'm bringing in your amazing as well. So.
well, I'm not 92 years old. Yes, I'll get her, and she'll be 102 by that time.
Was there any specific role, whether filmography or on the stage, that helped you grow the most as a person, or that you discovered something about yourself you didn't know?
I did a stage play called The Year of the Dragon back in 1974, written by a Chinese-American playwright, Frank Chin. And I think in that one, for the first time, I was able to use my own Asian American life experience in the character. With all the other characters, I've created it from my imagination. But in Year of the Dragon, I was able to use my own life experience as an Asian American in that role. It was later filmed for television on the Theater in America series, and so I was able to, reach a larger audience via television. And television has been a great blessing for me because on August 12th, I'll be coming at you with another series called The Terror Infamy. It's about the internment of Japanese Americans, told as a both chapter of American history, but fused with some horror. It was a harrowing experience as it was, but that horror has been intensified by dramatization. And so, go out to your bookstores or to Amazon and get a copy of A Calmless Enemy, or on August 12th, tune in on AMC and catch the first episode. It's a 10-part miniseries. So this is the first time that the story has been told on this epic level. 10 episodes over a 10-hour period, 10-week period. And so that is going to be another way of telling the story of my childhood imprisonment. The terror, infamy, and also as an adorable 5-year-old kid, they called us enemy. And I guess